Okay, let's set the scene. Wednesday, we're back at home. Chinnaswamy and it's LSG. Editor, let's look at the points table. We're third, 3 wins out of 4. Rajasthan just lost yesterday, so now Punjab are the only unbeaten team left, which is good. Ariman, quick word from you. How does the points table look from an RCB
Well, I would say it
perspective
looks
right
pretty
now?
good, actually. There's two things that stand out to me. The first thing is obvious. We win and we're back on top. And I think that's the only thing that we should care about. But in a more macro sense, I think there's like 3 clear sets of teams that we can see. The top 3 who seem to be firing on all cylinders, executing well, and really found a good balance. Then you have the middle kind of like catching up pack, SRH, DC, GT, LSG. And then the bottom 3 are really struggling. So, yeah, I think it makes for good reading. Probably too early to kind of call too many things. But from our perspective, it just shows good momentum, and yeah, we have to keep the foot on the gas.
100%, man. Bharat, quick word on our opponents, and do you see them as a threat for us on Wednesday?
Given their current form, absolutely not. I think it should be a pretty straightforward victory. Apart from a potential from their top 4, it's actually a pretty stacked top 4. Got to hope that none of them come into form, and I think our bowling should be able to take care of that.
Agreed. I tend to agree with you, man. I'm not worried too much, but these guys are a dangerous team. Sometimes I look at some of the big names there. Scares me. Rai, I want to take you a different way. Let's relive like your favorite memory against LSG. They're a new team, so there aren't many.
Yeah, I actually have 2. The first one being the game where we played in Lucknow this season, where the Gambhir Virat rift happened, where they beat us at home first. Avesh Khan threw the helmet. There was a lot of aggression shown at the end of the game, and obviously Virat doesn't take to that nicely. He's like, if you're going to give it to me, be ready to take it, which is the motto of the game I'm talking about. We absolutely belted them at home in Lucknow, and the afters were even more fun than the game, right? Which was the beef between the team. So it was extremely fun. And in terms of cricketing sense, I think last year has to be it for us. And I just have an interesting story because it was one of the last games. I think it was the last game of our season last year. And we were playing in Lucknow. We had to win to basically finish 1-2, guarantee the spot. And we were under pressure. I was in Canada because I had flown because of the war. The deal had stopped, so we didn't know. So most of us continued our lives. So I did too. So I was watching it in the morning, and I had a client meeting. And guys, I literally was watching the game till I could, right? It was such a big game. And I was like, shit, I have to take the metro and go to that place, subway. So the funny part is, literally before he started batting, we were in a situation where I was like, this is not chaseable, right? I watched a punt 100 doing flips and then we batting badly. I was like, tell me how to kill our juju / ruin it, right? So then I went in the subway, no network, guys. I was sitting in the subway being like, what is going to happen? I reached just before my meeting. I pulled out my phone to check the score. Okay. And this guy has gone off, which is Jitesh Sharma. And I couldn't believe it. And then to make things even better, guys, I went on my app to quickly start watching while I was walking to the coffee shop. And the no ball thing happened with Rati. Okay. Where he bowled, he got Jitesh out and then he was signing his paper. I was like, I shouldn't watch, right? As a matter of fact. And then the no ball happened, and then I watched him hit that 6, and I went into that meeting hella happy. So I loved that game, dude. What a game that was! What an absolute killer! Yeah.
I trust that meeting went well after you saw that 6.
I don't remember, but the headspace I was in, I was just flying. I was just
awesome.
flying.
Dude, I hate to take you away from that headspace, but I wanted to spend a few minutes. We'll talk about plenty of things that are going well, but let's spend 3 minutes on 3 things that are not going so well. Ariman, I'll kick this off for you. There's a lot of chatter around Kohli's last innings. I just have a stat for you and a question. So the stat is this: he scored 50 runs, so about a little less than 1/5 of our runs, and he batted almost 40 balls, so about 1/3 of the entire innings. Just that's your stat. Your question is that concerning? Is this a negative? Am I
that's absolutely not a concern. I think that's an overreaction. Last couple of years, you've seen the league kind of shift into a very fast power hitting kind of setup, and he's transformed himself. He's now a 160, 180 strike rate player. I think he plays to the situation, and I don't think how many balls he's batted or what his strike rate is actually matters, because you know that he's calculating and reading the pitch as good as anyone, probably the best. And also his presence alone kind of unlocks the his partner batter, right? So I think Salt is confident to swing because he knows Virat is there. Virat makes sure you run hard between the wickets. He's a presence in the field. I think there's like not a question in my mind, right? Like just let him do what he has to do, keep him happy, and he'll do great things.
Awesome. That is a green check mark from Ariman. Bharat, any negatives come to mind for you?
Just one that comes to mind is definitely Romario Shepherd. If you look at the 2025 championship team, Romario's like the role in the team was very clearly defined. Came in as a top 5 bowler, pulled his quota, and always came in lower in the order with some meaningful contributions. This year, it's kind of sketchy how we're looking at Romario because he's batting super deep. I mean, I think it's just because the top 7 have just been in such amazing form. But the concerning part is maybe the bowling. We're not really seeing that much of Romario this year, and he's a very credible option. And I don't know. It's a little sketch around whether we want to use him and if Rajat has the confidence in him to actually pick up wickets.
Yeah, no, fully agree, Bharat. I think that is a concern on all of our minds right now. Is Romario Shepherd is the 6th bowling option. I do trust him though. I think he'll pick it up. I mean, like, dude, that first ball he bowled right after Rasek pulled out injured. Oh man, what a catch! He did everything. He even gave the best smile, the smiling assassin smile, and then freaking that no ball sound. Anyway, Rai, one last.
No, I think segueing straight into it. So the concerns are actually linked to each other, which is that if Jitesh was in good form, which is what the concern is, then we could actually have an option where we're like, okay, Jitesh is playing really well, so he'll play ahead of Romario. So maybe we could either drop Romario for a batter or a bowler, right? Which is the conversation we're having. But because Jitesh is not in good form, we are going in with, if Jitesh is not in good form, Krunal hasn't really had minutes at all, and the game he played didn't do well. We are almost like we're again Tim David and did pretty well against Rajasthan. If he didn't get out to that ball he did, he would have probably hit that for a 6 as well, right? So my point is that if Romario is batting better than Jitesh, then that whole balance of the team is a little unstable, right? If we remove Romario with Jitesh and Krunal not batting well. So that's too much of a risk in my opinion. But yeah, overall, I think Jitesh Sharma definitely needs to pull up, man. It's been 4 games, right? He's got no real contribution. He's coming ahead of some of these big hitters as well so that he gets some game time. But I trust BK Anna to have a word with him and fix the situation ASAP.
Dude, 100%. I trust DK. I trust all of them. All right, thanks, guys. Those were 3 problems. That's going to be fine. That's an interesting take on actually the whole balance issue coming from Jitesh's form. And it would free us up if he gets into form. So, Jitesh, dude, just get into form, man. But, guys, I would rather have these problems than any other team's problems. So, let's go and get into our 11. All right. First up, gents, 2 injury concerns I should bring up. Virat played through a fever and apparently an ankle injury which he sustained during the last game. That's why he didn't come out to field. Hazelwood didn't even travel. We're going to assume they're both fit for Wednesday until we hear otherwise. So let's go around the room. And guys, I want 2 things. 1, the changes you think management will make. And 2, the changes you'd make if you were management. Let's go Bharat, Rai, then Arima.
So, in terms of the playing 11, the only change I potentially foresee, given how our management likes to follow up on games that we win, is potentially Josh Hazelwood coming back into the lineup for Jacob Duffy. Other than that, inclusion of Rasik Dar was a great one. Great replacement. He was definitely pivotal in the last game. Side should be mostly unchanged.
Yep. So both from your perspective and management. Okay, cool. Ariman?
I don't think any changes will be made. I don't think we should make any changes. We have a good blueprint and we probably stick to it. The one interesting idea that I did think about, and probably this will only happen if this continues for a couple more games, but if Jitesh is looking out of touch, there is a world in which we bring in Venki and then give the gloves to Salt. That could potentially unlock a couple of things with the team because it gives you an extra foreign spot, and now Duffy comes in. But yeah, I agree with you, Rai. It's probably not likely, and I don't think we're going to look at that at this stage.
Okay. No changes for you as well, Rai? Clean slate for you as well?
Yeah, I don't think I would make no changes personally. But again, the management might do it based on the workload because I think Guwahati, Bombay was a bit of a rough travel. But the only thing that I can see based on the news that we're getting is that hopefully not. But if Tim David gets penalized or a game ban because of what he did with the umpires with respect to the ball not being in the right shape, that could force us to have a change, which I think RCB fans would definitely hate because Tim David is a huge loss, right? He's in unbelievable form. But obviously, I think a straight swap would be Jacob Bethel, right? If it would be a forced inclusion because of that ban. But apart from that, if he gets away with the ban or it's just a penalty, then I think we should see the same squad on Wednesday against LSG.
100%. Damn, guys, this became a clean sweep from the panel. I agree with you. I don't want to see any changes. I don't think we will either, unless forced. And yeah, like you said, it would be Duffy coming in for Hazelwood. We've already seen that. Guys, here's a crazy, crazy stat for you. In the last 18 or 19 years, RCB have played exactly 4 games more than Virat Kohli has played. Meaning there was only 4 games. And editor, please fact check me. I saw this stat 2 years ago, and I know he's not missed a game since. So yeah, that would be crazy. Why would I even wake up at 6:30 a.m. to watch an RCB game when I can't even remember a feeling of what RCB is like without Virat? So Ariman, really quick, I hate to ask, but like, what would you do if we don't have Virat? Obviously, I guess Venki comes in, but are you going to be scared? Do you think we can play without
Yeah,
him?
I think the first question, Venki comes in, probably Padikkal moves up the order, and Venki slots right in at 4 probably. I would say that, yeah, it's a little bit of a loss. I think it would probably play into the mindset of the team, the batsmen, the crowd. He's a great fielder as well. I'm sure that Rajat leans on him for insight when he needs to. So not just the runs, but just his presence throughout the game, I think will be felt. There's no RCB without Virat, so that's not even a question. So yeah, fingers crossed for his health.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And signs are positive, by the way. Both Krunal after the game and Rajat said he's fine and he'll play. Cool. Guys, before we go into our predictions and things like that, let's look at our opponents. Editor, pull up LSG's last playing 11. So as you see, pretty top-heavy team. Mitch Marsh, Markram, Pant comes in at 3. Badoni has been really good at 4. Nicholas Puran scratching for form. Abdul Samad, Mukul freaking Chaudhary. Wow. What a player, man. What a player. Shami looking good. Avesh Khan, not so much. Prince Yadav, damn, he looks good for sure. And Digvesh Rathi is going to be hopefully not signing any of our players' names tomorrow. And I forget who the impacts are. Oh, it's George Linda. I forget because I don't think any of us know him. Awesome, guys. Let's just go around the room. What scares you about this team, or what doesn't scare you about this team? Let's do Bharat, Ariman, then Rai.
So, I mean, again, I feel like it's going to be a pretty straightforward victory for RCB, but if there is a cause of concern, it is definitely that top 4. Insane names, Nicholas Puran, Aiden Markram, Mitch Marsh, like these guys potentially go off on a Chinnaswamy wicket, and they have a couple of wild cards in their middle order as well. Mukul Chaudhary, I think we all saw what he could do against KKR. And Abdul Samad, I was at a game where Sunrisers almost scored 300 runs, and Abdul Samad was incredibly important to that middle order. It's potentially a grey area. I still think it's a straightforward victory.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Ariman,
going to take
you
this
can
a
jump
step
in.
further and say nothing scares me. I would say Marsh Markram is probably a poor man's discount brand Jaiswal Suryavanshi. Nicholas Puran is out of form. Badoni and Samaj don't really inspire confidence. I guess Mukul is looking in good touch, but I'm pretty sure we can outgun them. I feel confident. They're a team that are like scraping by, and they had a couple of close games. I don't think that they've dominated any game so far. So, yeah, no concerns. I think you just see off Shami and you're good to go.
Right? I know you analyzed this team a lot. What did your analysis tell you?
No, because I couldn't think of anything on top of my head. So I had to actually look at the stats to double check to see what's happening with the team. And like I thought, nothing stands out essentially. The whole team in 4 games, pretty mid, right? Like in every sense, like the average strike rate, bowling figures, everything is just average, right? The only point of concern, if any, would be the fact that we can see just one guy having a day off or a crazy day at the Chinnaswamy, given the kind of stadium that it is. So we have Mukul Chaudhary obviously taking advantage of the ground and the way he plays. The other thing is that, guys, people haven't really bowled much to him. So there's lesser plans against him as of now, right? Hence, he might come off. But as far as the form and the way other guys are playing, I don't think it should be a concern. But yeah, they definitely are like that one player, like they're the opposite of RCB, right? If we are a squad that has every player coming into the fray in some way or the other, their team is literally dependent on individuals, and that's not going to win them anything apart from a game or two throughout the season.
Yeah, I just hope it's not the game on Wednesday.
Us,
Ariman,
usually it is. Yeah.
I know. And Rai, you have your 100% record, which we don't know if it's going to even be tested. We're still trying to get tickets. But guys, we're definitely doing a giveaway. So whether Rai goes or not, you guys are going to go. So watch our Instagram page for that. Ariman, you did like some really cool tactics last time. You were talking about, how we bowl to Rohit. Let me ask you a bigger question, like tactics wise. How do you see us beating them? And maybe many different ways.
Yeah, I think we have to stick to the Chinnaswamy template, right? The test hard lengths, play to the strengths of Duffy, shorter balls, make them go cross bat, and I think that the rest will kind of take care of itself. I'm actually less scared about their spinners. I don't think the deck offers too much. And the reason Krunal is actually effective is because he doesn't rely on the turn. He relies on a lot more like smart moves and tactics and unpredictability. So, yeah, I say basic game plan, stick to the blueprint, and you're through.
Okay, lovely. I fully agree. I think, and you know what? They just got battered by Prasidh Krishna. And all Prasidh was doing was bowling, like you said, those short balls, hard length. And all these guys were playing cross-batted shots. So that's what I want to see. It'd be interesting whether it's Hazelwood or Duffy. I think the plan is the same. Guys, let's move on to the good, the bad, and the bold. Awesome, guys. You know how this works. Rai, you give us a good from an RCB perspective, something you're looking forward to. Ariman, you flip it around and give us the bad. And Bharat, you choose whatever you're feeling in the moment, good or bad. Let's go.
Yeah, I think straight at the back, midweek, the only thing we want in Bangalore, apart from the rains right now, would be a thunderstorm from our players, right? So I'd love to see Tim, David, Romario, and everyone hitting it out. So I'd say the 12th man army on a Wednesday night at the Chinnaswamy is a huge good for us. So can't wait to see the energy in the stadium.
Yeah, can't wait to be back. Ariman, go ahead.
I'm really reaching, but I have two. One is that Rajat really looks bad at tosses. So I don't know what we're going to do about that. Maybe like new pair of shoes or something. But the only other thing that is maybe a concern is that there's a little bit of uncertainty with a few players, right? So we don't know Hazelwood's fitness. We don't know Virat's fitness. Rasik was struggling a little bit. They said cramps on comms, but I don't know. It kind of extended a little bit. We have Tim David's ban/sanction situation. So maybe you're forced to change a winning team. But yeah, I wouldn't say that's a major concern anyways, because we have good depth.
Yeah, 100%. That's why we have these boys on the bench. Bharat, what are you feeling?
A bit of a hot take. As good as Krunal has been in the tournament so far, I think he kind of struggles against left-handers. He's pretty expensive. So given that Punt and Nicholas Puranan are on this team, there's potential for runs there. And I'm actually kind of curious because Krunal really adapts well to the situations. I want to see what his plans are against these two.
Dude, yeah. Pant and Puran are marquee
Yeah,
left-hand.
but then really bad form though, right? So if
That
you
is
look at it
true.
from a form matchup, I think Krunal Pandya is as good as he can get with respect to a Wankhede win. The braids are locked in. Bharat, he's ready to hit
Thick
those
braids.
bumpers, brother. The moment he sees a lefty, he's gonna hit it right there.
I love that, dude. I love the way he bowls, man. I love the way he bowls to lefties, righties. Doesn't matter, dude. Ariman, you were looking
Yeah, I
like
was
you
going
wanted
to say
to say
this
something.
is the perfect kind of game to play him into form against left-handers, right? Two struggling for form. Maybe you can tempt them with a small Chinnaswamy boundary and just like clean them up early, and then we're like done with that.
And predominantly they're righties, dude. The whole team. So I actually think that he's gonna have a banger game.
Yeah, I think the braids probably remove a couple of points from his economy rate as well. So, but I think he is due a big innings with the bat. So I'm hoping that this is the one. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not too concerned about it though, because I think he's more of like an emergency batsman for us, not a must-have.
Dude, I don't want to see him bat. Yeah, it usually means something bad happened, like you said. All right, guys, my favorite part of the episode, our bold predictions. Are you guys ready, gentlemen? Let's freaking go. Ariman, you start. Bharat, you go next. Rai, and then me. And this time, guys, we're also gonna get bold predictions from our panelists who are not on the show. So, editor, I don't know what they're gonna say to me, but editor will put it on the card right now. So, cool. Let's start building it out.
If we bat first, Virat century.
I had a pretty similar one to Aryaman, but I'm really hoping we bat first against this bowling lineup. So I'm gonna say 250 plus score. Let's go.
Wow, 250 one more time. Beautiful.
It's definitely raining on this Wednesday. I love it. My bold prediction is gonna be Bhuvi is gonna be a Hazel God figure this time. So he's gonna do 3-3-3. So Adi said this last time. I'm stealing this offer. I think 3
You
wickets,
stole that.
33. But for Bhuvi, bro, someone I know who's gonna play.
Okay, nice though. I love
Yeah.
that 3-3-3 format. Okay, damn, you guys kind of mentioned a few ones I wanted to go for. So 30 runs in DDP's first 12 balls. That's not normal for him. Anyway, guys, drop yours in the comments. Make it bold. Apparently, I'm not bold enough. So you show me how it's done in the comments. And also check out our other panelists. Can't wait for the game. We'll see you in the next video.